The stages of readiness are ways that we look at prospects to see where they might be in this decision. Action, planning, thinking, denial. Action is where. They've made the decision to move to a community. It's just a matter of where. Planning would be when. When would they feel that making a move might be best for them? And thinking whether. They're weighing the pros and cons. They're wondering if they're making the right decision. They're probably consulting with a lot of their family members. So whether, when, where, thinking, planning, action. Denial is what we most commonly hear as "I'm not ready yet." And those folks are, we need to help them get to thinking. So we know that they've contacted us for a purpose, but perhaps they're just not ready to start opening up to themselves to weigh the pros and cons of whether or not a move might be good for them. Stages of readiness are what most communities call hot, warm, cold future leads, and it's a way that sales folks categorize leads so that we know how to approach them. When you're categorizing someone in hot, warm, cold, and future, you're really not addressing the emotions behind their decision. But if you're looking at them in a stage of readiness, and by that it's action, planning, thinking, and denial, you're able to look at that prospect and help them along the process so that you're not trying to close them, but rather be a counselor or a coach, so to speak, and help them go from one stage to the next. Well, really in how they're responding to you. We like to ask open-ended questions so that we can find out about that person, who they are, what their motivators are, what their legacy is. And by the way they respond back to us, we're able to determine where they are in this process. Open-ended questions like, what was it like growing up in your neighborhood? Who were your best friends? Rather than, we have a pool, we have got a billiards table, and doing what we call a data dump. We need to be more active listeners and do less talking when we're looking at someone in stages of readiness. If you just ask someone, why would you even consider making a move? Based upon their response, you might be able to determine that they're in a thinking stage, where they're kind of torn. They're weighing the pros and cons, if you will. What we hear and everyone hears usually is "I'm not ready yet." "I'm not ready yet" is typically someone that might be in a denial stage. And we might ask those folks, well, yeah, so why would you even consider moving? How could I help you stay in your home? And when you're thinking about someone in stages or speaking to someone in stages of readiness, thinking, planning, action, whether, when, where. So if we're thinking, they're weighing the pros and cons, whether or not I should make this move, and their responses to your open-ended questions are going to tell you that. When, for planning, they're going to really looking at a time and trying to gauge what they might do with their possessions, what the costs might be, so you can see that they're actively thinking about making a move. And where, action, they've made the decision, they are going to move. It's just a matter of picking the right community for that individual.